Thank you very much, Chair. To the ED, Kampala Capital City Authority, recommendation on page 6, you say to establish a comprehensive drainage asset management system supported by GIS mapping. Honorable Chair, I'd like to bring to the notice of this committee. This was also in Kampala Drainage Master Plan 2016. ED, why does KCCA in 2026 still lack real-time condition data for the 362.3 kilometer network? And what is the firm date it will be online? I beg to submit.
Good Chair. Through you, ED, I would like to know, because according to your report, I see you know all the causes, you know all the challenges, and you have been able to mitigate some. Why is it that even where you have put effort and worked, let's say in installation of your box culverts and so on, we still have challenges of the floods and so on? Two, I have seen KCCA, let's say on the issue of attending, they have been able to work on so many of them and they have been able to achieve. Why is it that we still have solid waste, like the bottles and so on, flooding all over the channels in Kampala, and they have not been worked on, have a free flow of water?
The ED has said they have so far compensated 980 project affected persons. Recently, when there were evictions by NEMA, we saw a number of PAPs crying out how they came, took their names, and they were not paid. And others were crying out they were paid little in the first phase and they were supposed to be paid in the second phase. And if it was not for cuts of the Prime Minister, the 1 million funding that they gave to them, they were still crying to government to help them out in terms of compensation. But on Chair, we want the AD and the team to avail this committee is the list of project affected persons who were compensated, but also to know how much money was spent on these PAPs, because he has been so clear on the number of people who have been compensated, but he has not talked about how much money government spent on them. Chair, on the issue of the 980 meter section along the G channel following the compensation, we want to know the time scope when this project will be finalized on, because issues of floods have become floods, and now that we are heading into the rainy season, we are worried. He has talked about the basins where the drainage basins where they
He's requesting we go to the field, which we are going to do, but it is also better to go to the field when you have the information. We have engineers on this team. We need facts even before you go to those channels. Members are asking for the distance, members are asking for all these plans, hydraulic plans. So we are going to request them to submit even a list of all those who have encroached, then we can go to the field. The next meeting we should have all the necessary documents to equip us with a more precise field visit.
You have open drainage designs and also closed drainage designs, and during the floods, several cases we've seen people die because they're not able to actually even identify where those drainage channels are, and we're going into another rainy season. What measures have you people taken to ensure that we don't lose again more lives through flooding and people drowning in some of these open drainages?
Kindly respond.
We should submit those documents earlier before the committee.
Yes, including, I'm sure quite interested in those documents of that, all those illegal constructions. even those that have changed status from illegal to legal now.
Chair, procedure matter.
Mine is simple. Because me, I see what we are doing here. We are just wasting time.
Do you mind taking a seat? Clerk, can you give the honorable member a seat?
This engineer, this one has just come missing. There are a lot of rules. We went with you as a committee to forest more. As a committee, forest more. Where the forest more is good? It is on top of the what? Of a drainage channel. It's completely blocked. We raised the finger across a red flag, and we saw something was done. You remember what happened with the World Bank money about the National Channel? How much was spent? Here we want to see the UPP engineers to tell us. So far where we are, these are flowers. Complete, I don't believe anything on this. Here we want somebody to say, so far we have done this. Off cuff, not reading this flower because you have the idea. We don't have time for them. We want somebody who is saying we are going to do this part and we need this amount of money. But this big amount of money we're talking about, it is going to to go to the bottom of the speed. KCC has been getting money every financial year for the drainage. Nothing is done. Me, I'm surprised that for you have coming in with your clean hands into that waters. We would want to see, tell us, what will you do? What did you do to that man of Forest Moor? The Forest Moor, you go there, you people, you take a visit and go there. It's on top of the channel. And he's left. Now you are talking about Basaja Barapa, who is this man? Ham by them, he started, you were there. Tell us you didn't have powers to stop him. Me, I would be happy that way. That you don't have powers to stop him. Finally, he has formalized it. But what are you doing? We would rather do one part of the area of Kampala and we find there are no floods. They have talked of El Nino, and it will still come. You will see all the shops everywhere flooding. And you are in office. Why don't you resign? If you can't have the money, you know, request, give us your wishful list. If we get this amount of money, this particular part of area will be drained completely. This story will continue, I can tell you. You know, I've been there for some time, and that's the story. I am happy you have come, you have presented to new members of parliament here, and I'm happy they are very intelligent. They have raised the issues. Let's see how you handle. But I can tell you, I would have loved this gentleman to tell us what he's doing. He's a very good qualified engineer. Very, yes, he has been, you know, the road good. Tell us what can we do to help Kampala people out of the what? I thank you.
Honorable Chair, here I see we are just wasting time by reading those books. First of all, we are talking on something which we don't know, we as members. So, my request goes to Chair, why don't we spare time and visit those sites, those ones who are under construction and those ones who are not. Those ones who are completed, then we come back here with those people and talk on something which we know. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, in most of our wetlands and low floodplains, there are indeed encroachments which are illegal. It is not one person. It is we have been alive to the NEMA evictions in the recent past. You may have seen that a lot many people have come out. So you don't know if
Just just without using cosmetic language, the issue is referring to the specific construction, like, oh, is it a legal construction?
Chair, to be specific, the report is on a flooding incident of St. Barikudembe Market. That is the report that you presented. So it's specific to St. Barnabas.
Is it a legal construction?
Mr. Chairman, what do you mean illegal? It may be illegal, or illegal means approved. Yeah, it's approved.
Honorable Chair.
I'm with this side, but
Honorable Chair, specific to the issues of Jugla. Jugla is around Nachivuo War Memorial Stadium and the market. It is that one which snakes in between Kafumbe and into Nachivuo Channel. That is how I got on the Naju. The construction there, many of them were illegal.
one is referring to where? Is it legal? Was it approved?
Where he referred to Jugla, and those are two areas. I want
And
to-
what about the market?
The most interesting thing is that Jugla fits into Nachivuo Channel. He is referring to Jugla. But he has an opportunity to correct me. He has to give a correct answer.
Is that construction that members are referring to arms construction? Is it legal meaning? Is it approved?
Honorable Chair and members, that construction is now approved. It is there.
After construction.
Now,
Okay, that
It
is
is an
something we can
approved,
go back to.
It is an approved.
Thank you. Now, Chair, now that the Deputy ED confirms that it is approved, in the report, it follows the same construction that they approved as one of the reasons for the flooding. But I would like to know, has KCCA recovered from the developer responsible for the obstruction? Because when I read through the report, you talk of your hydraulic measures for flooding, but ideally that building has affected a lot in terms of your hydraulic measures. My second question.
Some information. Friendly.
Proceed.
Yeah, thank you. Through my senior member, you said it is approved. Can we at the end?
Now.
Yes, whatever. Now, can you through my honorable member and through our able chair, you present the approval certificate, a copy by close of business today, so that if he has, you can share with the clerk and we share. It's a public document. You get approved. And we approve. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, positive, we shall provide it.
Thank you. Honorable Chair, my second question to the ED and KCCA. Having had this experience, what lessons from Jugular Channel will be applied, and these are specific, for other flood-prone areas? This include Nachivubo, Chinawataka, Luigi, and other secondary drainage channels that you have. The reason for that, urbanization is now moving out of CBD. And these are the next areas that we need to be looking into. Chair, on the second report, which is on the master plan that KCCA has, I'm still interested in the encroachment bit. I would like to know from you, ED, how many illegal developments has KCCA removed in the last 5 years? And we are not talking about these ones that you've televised of old women, the low income earners. We are talking of these real encroachments that are disguised as development. And the reason for that is a big percentage of your report is actually blaming the encroachment on wetlands. And then, for me, I would also just like to make a few recommendations. I've seen just an indicative budget that you're looking at of about 768 billion. But it would be good, maybe in the abridged report you had it. Your report provides no cost-benefit analysis at all. You're asking for the 768 billion, but there is no cost-benefit analysis. Two, it would also be good because you are technical people. And when we are talking about hydraulic modeling results or measures, it would be good for you to come, because now we are looking at Nachivugo channel. The hydraulic measures have been affected. But have you taken time to actually be able to take measures on the proposed works that you're looking at, and for that to be able to eliminate or reduce flooding? And lastly, it's on the economic losses that have been caused by flooding. The biggest people who are impacted are actually our taxpayers, including many of us. It would be good for you also to provide to this committee the losses that has been caused by this flooding. Because I believe that when we eliminate those losses, that is a cost-benefit analysis that is going to come back to the government. I thank you, Chair. I submit. Yeah. Edie, thank you very much for your presentation. I know you were not ready to present, but thank you for accepting to present. Chair, I want to build on the questions that Honorable Atan asked about the construction. In the report, it's clearly noted that I think the biggest obstruction we have is the construction. In the report, KCCA is very careful not to mention. We are the ones in the committee who are assuming that it is a harm. But I would like to ask, has KCCA recovered any costs from the development?
Maybe you can tell us that we stop assuming. Who is that who did?
Into your report, I mark out 3 key issues. 1, controversial constructions. 2 is encroachment and blockage. 3, illegal developments. And I want to narrow us specifically to the Natural Channel. And I want to point out, on the 22nd August 2025, you issued a directive to ARM, stopping any construction. Did that directive get suspended or it still stands? 2, is harm construction on the Natural Channel a controversial construction, an encroachment and a blockage? Is it an illegal development? If it's a legal development, did it have a NEMA report on impact assessment? Could we have it as a committee, a copy of the NEMA environmental impact assessment report? And could we have the approved plan on which KNAM consults as the architects overseeing this are basing their work, and as KCCA, if they approve the plan? Finally, does KCCA have a project, Kampala Capital City Authority Flood-Free Initiative? If it does, how come in your report you are silent or you knew about it initially? And what is its status as far as you point out controversial construction, encroachment, blockade, illegal developments, and you had issued a directive halting? Did that directive get revoked? If it wasn't, we would love to know as a committee. And also, on the point Honorable colleague has raised, no inlets and their permanent constructions. How is this being a remedy to cure a flood-free Kampala with those permanent constructions. I thank you, Chair.
Understand the drainage capacity that we currently have as Kampala City Authority. Secondly, is looking at also the design scope. I believe that KCCA is transitioning to becoming a smart city. And a smart city has three components of their drainage systems. One is the green infrastructure. You have rain gardens, you have rooftop gardens, you have the natural infiltration from our greenery. I would have expected in this master plan to see what strategy are we planning to use our greenery as part of the drainage strategy. The second is the blue infrastructure. That is the natural basins that we have. They talked about the wetlands, some of the basins, but we've seen some of the smart cities have artificial lakes, which are basically storage tanks for the stormwater. You go to Nairobi, they have artificial lakes. Kampala, we don't hear anything about that. So I would have expected to hear about that blue infrastructure. And then thirdly, the gray infrastructure, which is the drainage channels that you're talking about, the concrete. But also I've not heard about us having our own storage tanks. Where do we store all this water? You're complaining about urbanization, reduced natural storage capacity. The solution was to have your storage tanks that can be able to absorb this. The cost of constructing the drainage infrastructure. I've seen in the budget you've indicated the Lubigi channel, 980 meters at 39 billion shillings. That is roughly like 1 kilometer of a drainage channel costs us 39 billion shillings. I really want to be sure that this is really the cost of constructing 1 kilometer of a drainage channel. And lastly, you've talked about the challenges you're facing. The rapid urbanization, illegal encroachments, isolated designs. But when you look at this, these are not financial issues. This is a physical planning issue. How are these illegal infrastructure operating? How do you end up with undersized concrete structures or drainage channels itself? It's a physical planning and an implementation issue, which we'll expect KCCA to be able to address. When you move around Kampala, you find a lot of utility cables for optic fiber networks, for internet. Poles are everywhere. And one location can have as many as 10 poles placed in that particular one location. It's not clear who is controlling this. So, isn't KCCA also failing in its part, in addition to financial issues, but there's the physical planning and the implementation issues? I would like to get a response.
Thank you. Just to slow down the speed of this water, and if so, how many do you have?
I found that there are no inlets to this channel. I don't know which strategies or which strategies are you going to use to help us improve that, since there is a permanent structure there for them. Because I've seen most times that whenever it rains, even small rains will get floods there. What plans do you have to improve the runflow there? Thank you. Of Nakivugo, that building on top of Nakivugo channel. He told us here that it has been certified now, approved now. When the president was giving his speech, he said that we need to fight corruption in any form. I believe that construction was done before the approval, and I believe it has been approved now. That is smart corruption. And who did approve it? Because if something started illegally, and then along the way it gets legal, how did it become legal when the law says it's illegal? Information. So that is corruption straight away. And this committee should be given information who approved, and when was it approved. Then the other bit is that because of that bit of corruption, this country is losing a lot of money in compensating the business community that experiences floods down there. So how is the businessman that has, or the proprietor that has brought that building on top there, is he the one going to be, paying these compensations, or it has to be government? If he has caused the problem, I believe he should be the one to, take on this, because this was not a government problem. And if it becomes a government problem, that means it was caused by the people that allowed that construction to go on, and they should be accountable. Thank you.
The Kampala Drainage Master Plan was developed in 2016, and in light of your 2026 status report, which admits that the stormwater runoff is exceeding the original design capacity due to increased impervious surfaces, is the 2016 plan still a viable strategic framework? Are you asking for this Uganda 768.1 billion based on the decade-old strategy report that admits that only partial implementation has been done? Thank you.
Honorable Chair and all the honorable members, I read the report and I've noted something. In the report, there are many issues, but I failed to identify any success story where the team from KCCA are proud to have fully implemented, achieved, and can be used as a reference point. I want to ask the ED, from the time you have been in that office, what blueprint on drainage management can we remember you for? And then two, as colleagues said, we need to be practical. In your report, you have noted under key achievements that you have improved and reduced flooding at Nakibubu, at Boise. But if it's to rain heavily now, it may be difficult to pass through Boise. Are these kind of the achievements you are proud to have achieved, or drainage is your source of income, where every time you make a report, you request for funds such that you continue doing the same work time and again? Or if these are to be audited, technical audits, will we find that you have achieved something? And then lastly, you have made your report in an approximation. Do you want to portray that your technical team are incompetent to give us actual measurement of the work done? If so, why should you be in that office if you cannot give us the actual thing, measurement of the work done? Thank you.
We'll give responses, and we also will have an opportunity to give further evidence-related material to enable the committee to take its work. I will answer some of these questions, but I will also request the Director of Engineering and Technical Services, Kampala Capital City Authority, Engineer Justice Akamkwasa, and Engineer Maurice Kairania to give me backup on some of the areas that remain outstanding. I will avoid the very technical ones and go for the easy ones for me. Are there any success stories in this drainage in Kampala? Yes, there are. For a long time, Bwaise was a place which did not require raining in Bwaise before it flooded. If it rained in Kawempe, in Ntinda, in Makerere, in Malabo, Bwaise would necessarily flood. Today, Bwaise does not have the kind of flooding that it used to have because of the engineering that has happened. The engineering around Luigi drainage and also the Nakamiro channel. These have done a lot of support to the people of Bwaise. But suffice to say that this particular area that used to flood is at a low-lying area, formerly a wetland, which has been occupied. And because of the tempest ground, the water levels will easily get upset when a shower comes down. And that is why you may still see some areas flooded. But may I also say that we have not had floods to worry about, but we continue to have flash floods. Flooding that happens during the time of the heavy rain, and 20-30 minutes later, which means that the engineering is working. The other area that has worked is Busega. Busega, where now the market is, used to be an area that was pounded by floods, and that market would have remained dysfunctional if it were not for the actions that were taken that have saved this area. The other area, well known for flooding, used to be Auto Spa on Cape Villa Wavamono Road. That turnoff to Munyonyo used to be a usual flooding area. Now it does not flood. The other one is Soweto, linking Kabalagala to Buziga, around Pastor Chuewesi's church. These areas are calm. But yes, we continue to have flooding, and we have noticeable areas that are around within the city, and sometimes others outside of the city. Nachiburo, Golf Course, Clock Tower, and Lugogo are one of the areas where we see a lot of flooding. But in the recent past, we have also seen flooding in areas where there was never flooding. Noticeably, the northern bypass has flooded. In March and in November, when the rains were heavy, northern bypass flooded, and this was a new area. We also have areas where we have flooding, and it's outside of the territory of Kampala, but to the common man it is easy. It's not easy for them to identify this. The case in point is the case of Zana. Every time it floods in Zana, the first person to be blamed will be the urban authority of Kampala Capital City Authority. But this is in our neighborhood of Makinde, Salakabo, otherwise Wakiso. How much this gets to be emotional sometimes, because the reality is indeed that in most of all the directions of Kampala, we have constructed, including public institutions in low-lying places which can be classified as wetlands. A case in point, Honorable Chair, member. 6th Street, industrial area, the whole of it, it lies just about 15 meters from the Najubo channel. But we know that what we're calling this wetland comes all the way from Chivulu as a wetland and to Luzira. For many of you who were in Kampala before, you realize, you will know that beyond Bat Valley and the Gaddafi Road, that was a papyrus reed area. Today it is indeed occupied. But even before many of these things became, Nachibubo was actually constructed. The construction on Savannah and Allen Road, that road which comes, which is just besides the construction of Ham, has been constructed for so long. UTC bus was there it was indeed in the same area called Ewenda. So when we speak about the urbanization and the pressure that has come, sometimes people have references, and that is why it's been difficult sometimes to keep pushing people outside.
Information, but what honorable, the volume of water that should be going through this channel, is this amount, cubic meters? Was this guidance provided by KCCA? And how have you reversed now to approve the normal?
Forest more. All these are developments, the so-called urbanization, which all of us know, that have taken, maybe someone with a big Chkonde can say, I want this factory here, and it's built. But we would want all of us to know that you bring these issues and we put them in the public domain for everybody to see. Urbanization guided, it must be guided by you. Where you fail, you say so, because you are the one which buying the offices of this organization, the KCCA.